My top two favorite guitar models are Fender Stratocasters and Fender Mustangs. Which one I prefer more depends on the day, but ultimately for me, nothing touches these two. As a teenager who was new to playing guitar, I really wanted a black on black guitar. I just felt like that was the coolest color combination. But I started playing guitar in the first place because of Nirvana, and it didn't take long to get the itch to want to replicate and emulate Kurt Cobain's guitars. After all, he's the reason I started playing, and his guitars are just so cool, to put it simply. I was 14 when I started playing, I'm 32 now, and that itch has never fully left. That's kind of the main point of my channel here and why I called it Nirvana Guitars, to replicate and build these iconic instruments. But a few years ago, I pressed pause on my Nirvana gear urges to finally build a black on black quote-unquote Eric guitar, which led to this gorgeous Stratocaster, combining the elements of my favorite Stratocasters into one and going all out on the bells and whistles. On days where Strats are my favorite guitar, nothing gives me more joy than to play this beauty. But on the days where Mustangs are my favorite guitar, I kept daydreaming about giving the Eric Strat an offset alter ego. Well, that guitar is finally here, and dare I say, it's making me lean more towards preferring Mustangs over Strats overall. I am so excited to present my Night-Stang I. After going through so many different Nirvana Mustang builds, I've put all my favorite elements of them into one, and added some enhanced features to fully customize it and make it the perfect and ideal offset guitar for me. In this video, I will be showing you all that went into this build, and the many tonal options it provides. There is no instrument that has had more of an impact on my life than Kurt Cobain's Skystang I. When I first got into Nirvana, I was immediately drawn into watching every In Utero tour video I could find on YouTube at the time. This is the biggest thing that has shaped me as a guitarist. The tones and the effects I was hearing became my favorites, but most of all, I was completely mesmerized by the blue and red Mustang that I quickly noticed Kurt was playing at the majority of all of these shows. I wanted to learn everything I possibly could about this guitar. This love and obsession eventually led me to being in a room where Nirvana guitar tech Ernie Bailey handed me Kurt's actual Skystang I and patiently answered every question I had about it. In that room was also Kurt's brother Chad Cobain, who was the owner of this guitar at the time, and with his approval and permission, I actually got to play that fabled blue and red Mustang that had put a spell on teenage Eric all those years ago. To say that this right here was a life-changing experience would be a colossal understatement. Night-Stang I takes elements of my three favorite offsets that Kurt played, but obviously the biggest overall influence in its design was Skystang I. I wanted my customized Eric Mustang to look like Skystang I had met a symbiote from Spider-Man. Visually, I think I achieved this goal. Spec-wise, these are all of Night-Stang's nods to Skystang I. The body came from a black Fender Player 2 Mustang. This body is made of alder, just like Kurt's actual In Utero tour Stangs. It could be considered a bit unusual since MG69 Mustangs of the time were all made of basswood, but this has been confirmed by custom shop master builder Scott Zimmerman, the man who built these guitars for Kurt. White Seymour Duncan JB with the same damage as Skystang I. This JB came out of my Skystang I build, which at its base is a Kurt Cobain signature Mustang. Small post, Nashville style tune-o-matic bridge. Thanks to Kurt, toms have become my favorite bridges visually and feel-wise. Fender tailpiece which has been locked down, and the tremolo bar flipped for better tuning stability, just like the actual In Utero Stangs. Like the JB, this neck came from my Kurt Cobain signature Mustang. It is a 2012 MIJ Fujigen Kurt Cobain signature Mustang neck. This is the first Mustang neck I ever played. I've had it since 2014 and I played many shows with it back in my gigging days. This neck really just feels like home, for lack of a better phrase, thanks to the comfort of its familiarity after many years of playing it. I'm worried that some purists are going to find this next part blasphemous, but I painted the headstock black, clear coated it, and put on a new silver Fender logo. Going with a matching headstock and a larger style Fender logo is this guitar's nod to Kurt's iconic competition Mustang. The headstock has always been one of my favorite parts of this guitar. The neck pickup in here is influenced by Kurt's Fender Skystang, which had a bridge Stratocaster single coil in the neck position. On Night-Stang I, I have a Fender Ventera 50s Stratocaster bridge single coil. Of all my Nirvana Stangs, the only neck pickup I actually enjoy and find myself using is the bridge single coil on my Skystang build. But as I was hoping for, I'm really enjoying this pickup in this position. Here's how it sounds through my Fender Twin Reverb. That's all the Nirvana influences on this guitar, but honestly, I'm more excited to show you and tell you about the extra/different features of it. Here's where I personalized it and made this guitar more for me. The pickup switches are 2-way instead of 3-way, so they are just on-off switches for both pickups. I literally never use and have never enjoyed the out-of-phase Mustang sound, but I like the ability of using these switches as a kill switch and love the look of Mustang switches just in general, so this was the perfect solution. Both the volume and tone knobs are push-push. Pushing in the tone knob activates a single coil split for the JB to produce a single coil-like sound. Pushing in the volume knob disconnects the tone pot, making the JB go from 2 250K pots to just 1. Using one 250 pot like this really brightens up the sound. So I'm essentially looking at this as a makeshift way of getting something in the vein of a 500K sound. This right here is my favorite feature of this guitar. It's been a game changer for me, and going forward, all my Eric guitars are probably gonna have this. With it set to the 250K default, I can dial in my favorite guitar tones of all time, Kurt's various in utero tour tones. Pushed in now, I get a fuller and more defined sound that I think is just better and more powerful overall. Between the JB coil splitting and the 2 pot value options, I've been having so much fun just playing around with all the different tonal possibilities. With the arrival of Night-Stang I, my black on black Eric Strat now finally has a partner in crime. And yes, I'm purposely naming this one Night-Stang I to leave open the possibility of future Night-Stang builds. We'll have to see what the future brings, but I don't know if one right here will ever be beat. Visually, feel-wise, and with all the tonal possibilities, this is really my ideal dream Fender Mustang. I need to give the absolute biggest shout out and thank you to my outstanding guitar tech, Jeff of Lomic Guitars. He's the one who completely put this guitar together and set it all up. So Jeff, my dude, I've said this in many videos, but I'm going to continue to say it. You really have made so many of my guitar dreams come true, and you have completely knocked it out of the park with this one. I will never be able to thank you enough for building what I think is going to go on to become my favorite guitar that I own. You can all expect to see lots of Night-Stang I here on my channel. It's Nirvana adjacent enough to where I can use it for in utero tour tones, but as you've seen and heard, it's also capable of so much more. I have so many ideas for fun ways to use this guitar on my channel going forward, and I cannot wait for you all to see what's in store. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Nirvana Guitars. Subscribe right here on YouTube for more weekly gear videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.